It is the day after Christmas and we're about to watch The Color Purple. Kids is being watched and we're about to go see Color Purple. And I'm excited. I've been waiting for this movie ever since CinemaCon when I seen Oprah and Fantasia go on stage and they were talking about it. And ever since then, I knew that I had to see this movie. So what we did in preparation for watching this, well, we watched it last night. We watched the original. And what are your expectations before you go see this movie? No expectations. For me, I think this is gonna be, I expected this movie to be one of the best of the year. I expect this movie to be arguably the best movie of the year because of the people involved. Steven Spielberg is back. Oprah Winfrey is back. I have a concern that Oprah's gonna do a little bit extra to make this thing a super woman empowerment movie when you don't have to, because the story of Color Purple is about women empowerment. It's the ultimate woman empowerment story that makes a lot of sense. You know, strong female leads that I love. And I think she's gonna make it modern. She's gonna put a twist on it to make it a little bit more modern. If she does, hopefully Steven Spielberg has the balls to say, Oprah, no. Because if not, he's in trouble. Got my tickets right here, and I got my extra little hello. All right, my Color Purple.
2 to the left. Enjoy your movie.
Thank you so much. All right. 0 sugar squeezed lemonade flavored vitamin water. Let me give it a shot. They don't play when it comes to their Color Purple. They came out to support, and they come out early as heck to support. So I already knew that would be. And this, you know what that means? It means that this theater is gonna have a lot of a lot of clapping, a lot of talking at the screen. All right.
We'll get some nachos with an extra cheese and jalapenos.
Yes. Just a heads up for next time, though, it's actually in the line now. Like, it's supposed to be like a grab and go thing.
There's no cheese over there, though.
Yeah, we give you the cheese, but they take the cheese in. So. You said jalapenos, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's it.
What are It's gonna be $18.85. Cool, so it went down to $14.13
Cool. It's $2.35 for the cheese?
for the cheese, yeah.
Dang! Holy crap!
$15.89.
All right. They have nachos in the line, and she decided not to get the nachos out of the line. And the woman at the register, because all the nachos over there look nice and hot, and that's where the cheese was at. And we decided, all right, just let you know, there's nachos right there for you to grab and carry, okay? Just for the future. I'm like, you didn't have to say that. I said, okay, cool. Just go get the nachos. Gang of black folk up in this mug, bro, at 11 in the morning. These people about to be, yeah, child, go ahead, girl, yeah. I smell chillings and I smell hot fried chicken. I smell collard greens, bro. They about to do it. They about to do it, bro. Just got out of seeing The Color Purple. It's been about 30 minutes since we've seen it, so we had time to reflect. First initial thoughts and impressions for you.
I only liked it because I saw the other one last night. Had I not seen that one, I wouldn't have known anything about the movie, and I probably wouldn't have liked it because of all the singing. And the singing starts right away.
Yeah, there's a lot of singing.
There's no build up to the singing. They just cut scene and sing.
Right.
So I didn't like that.
First, I don't know, like before the first minute, you're gonna get some singing, and I'm like, all right. Well, they said it's a musical, so all right, that's fine. That's not the problem with this movie. I don't think that with you, I don't like it. There's things I like about it. There's things that make me laugh, but that's what's bound to happen with a Color Purple story, with these type of characters that were created in part by Steven Spielberg. And I bring up Steven Spielberg because he took a step back in producing this movie only. I thought he directed it, but no, I believe a woman directed this movie. And had I known that, I would have had a different different reservations. And I know that sounds bad, but I just know how movies are filmed today, and there's often agenda. But I think about The Color Purple and the story of what it is. The Color Purple is the most woman empowering type of movie that's made for women. It's made for women to feel empowered. It's a story of triumph and perseverance. You don't need no agenda. It's already at its core from 1985, a great film. Retell it for a new modern day. That's what I thought it was, and that's kind of what it is. Because what is modern day? Modern day is agendas. It's women are like running everything, and women want to wear the pants. Like a song really reminded us about. There's a song in here about women wearing the pants, and I'm just like, I don't care for that. But even that, I'm okay with it. A little agenda, put a little something in there. Oprah's making it after all. But nah, there was more to it than just that. This movie relies on you to watch the first Color Purple.
Yeah.
This movie relies on the audience knowing and watching The Color Purple.
I was spotty about Sophia because I was in and out of sleep when I saw it last night.
Right.
So when I saw it today, I had no idea, like, that her character, that she was like that. Like, what happened to her? I had no idea. I didn't know.
Right, oh, about the being in prison, jail.
I didn't know that.
They cut all of that Sophia stuff was cut from the movie. This movie is basically, it's a music video of The Color Purple. It's a trailer of The Color Purple. It is highlights of The Color Purple. It's a Color Purple highlight reel. It goes to glimpses that are iconic from the movie, and it rushes there so fast that you don't sit and settle and understand why these characters are important. So when things happen to them, you don't feel nothing. There was a lot of slow, organic moments that Steven Spielberg created, but this movie was in such a rush to let's get to the scene in the kitchen where he's making breakfast. Let's get to the scene where she says, "You so ugly," but she doesn't say "you so ugly" because it's not empowering to call another black woman ugly. The black man could call the black woman ugly, but another black woman call another black woman ugly? No. What other reasons did you have for not liking this movie? What did you like about the movie?
That I saw the first one.
Yeah. And the first movie?
That was it.
The first movie is everything. The first movie is the real movie. I don't recommend people go see this.
I don't either.
There was like moments where there's moments that the characters do something funny, and the audience that we went to, the Magic, the crowd was insane. They were clapping. Yeah, girl, bless you, Lord Jesus. I was saying everything like these old women. This movie might do decent in the box office because black people are going to go see it because it's The Color Purple.
But it's not The Color Purple.
Steven Spielberg didn't have his hands on this, and you could tell. Oprah Winfrey took over this bad boy, and she says, "All right, for sure." And when I seen her at CinemaCon, I said, okay, she seems to have so much. I was always worried that she would, do something to this movie, but I said, no, she's gonna respect this movie because she understands that it's a powerful movie. But they made it the movie about. They harped too much on the fact that men are bad. You can see in The Color Purple, the original version, that yes, a lot of the men are oppressive because back then men were very oppressive and they were, they beat women and all that type of stuff. But it's like you didn't have to like double down on it. Like it's obvious. We seen Color Purple. A lot of people seen Color Purple. Yet this movie doesn't feel like the essence of what Color Purple is. Like Celie, when they were young, right? So Celie was young with her friend, with her best friend and sister, Nettie. It's that relationship wasn't nowhere near like Whoopi Goldberg's relationship with her sister as a kid.
No.
That sisterly bond. Yeah.
And when she came back, you still didn't feel it.
Still didn't feel it.
It was awkward. Like,
weird.
Yeah.
No emotion.
The beginning jumped. It jumped too far ahead in the beginning. They didn't show. They didn't show their relationship.
It's rushed, isn't it?
Yeah.
They rushed the heck out of this movie. And I'm like, why would you? Okay, so I'm saying to myself, why are you rushing through so much of this amazing story and leaving out all of the small parts that make these characters who they are? Why are you rushing to Mr. just slapping Fantasia 3 times quickly? Rushing to the slaps. There was more pain to that relationship than him just slapping her. He was evil to her. Mm-hmm. And you look at Mr. in this movie, he doesn't come off as evil to me. he comes off as an old man who just believes that you should beat your woman when she gets out of line. Yeah. He's much more evil than that. And he was a travesty.
When he did that good deed at the end, it didn't feel.
They switched it all up.
Like a good deed. It just it was weird. Yeah.
This movie fails the original in every way, and I don't want to compare this to the original, but this movie is comparing it to the original by basically taking all the scenes from the original that people love over the last 50 years, 40 years, and putting it in the movie to get us to laugh and clap. But nah, bro, the original was good because the storytelling, the script, the slow scenes where there was a scene where, she puts the spit in the glass to his father. That scene was like a 7-minute scene in the original version, maybe 10 minutes. And it's a 60-second, 90-second scene in this movie. What? Whoa. Everything was rushed. Everything was just, and you find out why. It's because they wanted to add stuff into the movie. I said, what are they going to add into this movie? They're getting through this movie pretty quickly. They added them going to Memphis with Suge. Yeah. And I was like, okay, interesting. They added a whole different ending. I was like, that's interesting. None of it was better than the original. In the original, Suge ain't shit. She's not a good person. She's a whore, and she doesn't become a good person until she lets the whore life go. In this movie, I don't know why what crack pipe Oprah was smoking, but she decided to make Suge an angel, and save the freak out of Celie, save the shit out of her. And I'm like, wait a minute. She was a person who had her own selfish desires to be a star, but in this movie she's an angel, a saint. She makes so much good things happen. The relationship between Suge and her father was trash. You miscast her dad. That preacher-daughter relationship, that redemption is supposed to mean something. They rolled over it like it didn't matter. All of these scenes were just rolled over and disrespected. I dislike this movie a lot, man. And it's like, if you've never seen Color Purple, don't see this. Don't see this. Because if you see this without seeing the original, you're going to think Color Purple's trash. Yeah. You're doing yourself a huge disservice not watching this. This is the original movie. You're doing yourself a favor for not watching this. I can't recommend people go watch this movie. And they just went through. So, Harpo and Sophia, their relationship was toxic. In the original, she beat him, he beat her back, and it was back and forth. They would have children. They cut all of it out, and as soon as he hit her once, she dipped and took all of her kids. I'm like, all right, for sure. So Oprah and this director doesn't want to show that toxicity goes from both sides, that she was an abusive person, he was an abusive person. She was abusing him in the original initially, like the most, and he would return the abuse, and they would be just bad for each other. But in this movie, Sophia,
she could beat him.
Y'all just ruined Sophia. It's crazy. They did damage control on this movie for the black women to look good, to have no flaws, like none. Like Sophia was an empowered, strong woman. Nothing wrong with her attitude or nothing like that. Everybody looked up to her. Nettie, fantastic. Celie, amazing. Suge, all of the women were just looked at as these brighter than life characters. And I'm like, wait a minute. A character is supposed to have some type of flaw so you can relate to them. This movie is preaching and making other black women raise up and see that nothing they do is wrong. The men are evil, and go girl, put your pants on and be that guy. Do you feel the same way, or how do you feel about that?
No, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like. That's what it is.
Like I'm like, wait. Some of the songs were alright. I thought they would have been better. There was a really good song with the Fantasia sings towards the end of the movie. that has some moments. It's one song that I liked, but most of them were just like mid.
But I just can't get over the whole every single song was about God.
And not only that, they feel the need to scream and sing every 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is there like 20? And I understand it's a musical, but this is actually getting in the way of the story itself.
That's why they cut the scenes, because they had to make room for the singing and the dancing.
That's crazy. I feel like it was a mistake. It was a mistake to remake this movie. I'm very disappointed. I'm let down, and I have no hope. Oprah Winfrey is trash. I thought this. I took that from Tarian Rain. Shout out to Tarian, bro. She's trash. She does not stand for the advancement of black people. She cares more about looking like she cares about Africans in other countries than she does about the black people in this country. And she's exactly all that. Steven Spielberg, you dodged a bullet. I fully understand 100% why you did not direct this movie. This movie is, it's another agenda piece wrapped around in a color purple sheen see-through veil. That's exactly what it is. The relationship between Harpo and Sophia, non-existent. The evil mister, and I really didn't feel Celia's pain that much. I didn't feel like she was this oppressed. I didn't feel for her as much as Oprah Winfrey, as much as Whoopi Goldberg played her in the original. She went through literal hell on earth. She went through that. In this movie, she got slapped 3 times and had to clean the house.
Yeah.
Her oppression was she had a man who beats her occasionally, and she has to cook and clean. Her oppression was so much deeper than that. Her mental,
take care of his kids.
Yeah, he was not as evil as he was in, and I guess you could say that that's putting a nod to men, like they're redeeming him a little bit, like he's not that bad. But you can't have a character in Silly that's dealing with so much pain and anguish,
the pain coming from?
Exactly.
Her not her kids. That's it.
Yeah, her the way she was raised, not having her children, but that had nothing to do with Mister.
Nothing to do with it.
That had everything to do with her father, and then the funeral comes.
That was weird.
Oh my God, man! And I'm glad that we watched it last night. You got a chance to see some of it, most of it.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have known. Wouldn't have known anything.
It's a shame.
It would have all
It's a shame.
been like, what?
Oprah said, "Sugar is a problem. We're gonna fix her." She said, "We're gonna fix her." She would, and then you had a lesbian sex implication.
Yeah,
in the
that
original,
was weird.
She kissed her in the original while they were in the thing, listen to them, because she idolized her as a human being. She saw a star and she was enthralled with her. It wasn't really about her sexuality. In this movie, it was just a peck. In this movie, French kiss, and she took her to bed. They had, like, what? I'm like, all right, more agenda up in this bad boy. I see what time it is. And I just didn't like, people in the theater were like, that's some nasty,
yeah.
what, huh?
Yeah.
Even old heads who were probably fans of the original Color Purple wasn't feeling that.
That liked this movie, that were hollering for this movie.
Yes.
They still didn't like
It was in very bad taste.
Yeah.
It was in very bad taste, and you
Throw it in
understand.
everybody's face all the time.
Right there. Boom.
Yeah.
And
Distasteful.
very distasteful. I was really upset seeing that, because that's not what Silly's and Suge's relationship was. That's not what it was. And then you couldn't even see, and if you watch the original Color Purple, you know the relationship was like a mother that she never had, a bigger sister she never had, a human being that she could latch onto, that needed to pull her from the hell that she was living in that house.
Yeah.
The scene where she went and got the letters right after their nightcap. She went and got the letters and they sat down, read it real quick. That scene was supposed to be powerful.
Yeah.
Had no power to it. It was rushed.
And he was supposed to, that whole scene where she was outside reading the book and he was calling her name and.
Yes.
Yeah, that just.
He beat her, give me a shave. She's on the porch shaving him, and then, what?
Then they come pulling up.
Bro, take your time with this story. What are y'all doing? I have no hope in remakes of movies that deal with black folk, that deal with emotion, that are iconic or classic or revered and beloved, that are remade. Stop remaking these movies. Stop it. Don't touch them no more. Color Purple just got hoed, and it pisses me off. In the end, I think that Color Purple. Maybe I should get your final thoughts first. What are your final thoughts on that?
No grade.
No grade.
No.
You didn't want to grade it.
I know. No grade. You don't deserve a grade.
Just don't like it.
No, I just don't like it.
I don't like it either. This is a movie I don't recommend. It pissed me off. I was very disappointed. I was let down. I was let down more than I was even pissed, because it's like a whole generation of girls are gonna watch this, and they think this is the Color Purple of it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be their Color Purple.
This is their Color Purple. And
So
that's
many
bad.
little black girls are never gonna experience that 1985 version.
Yeah. That's what's the bad part about it.
That's a travesty.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn shame. And Oprah, you're freaking trash. And Steven Spielberg, you a G for staying out of this, bro. You a G for staying out of this. He knew this was going to be a train wreck. He only thing he did was produce. I'm like, all right, for sure. And this woman director, it seems like there was a female director here. You trash too. This guy, who, man, bro, I give it a D. This movie gets a D. I did not like this movie. Fantasia tried her best. The actresses and all that, great. Her was the. They had
her for. She sang one half a minute, not even a minute. She had a few words.
Yeah, in the original movie, she didn't really have much, but I thought she would have more than in this movie. The travesty with Mr., you really dropped the ball on Mr. He was supposed to be a real bad. Danny Glover killed it, and this actor, who I like, he didn't do good. He didn't do a good job. I'm going to call that out. The way he was speaking, his mannerisms, his personification of what a man and an evil motherfreaker is, he didn't ooze any of it. He wasn't really intimidating. He was like a joker. It was like someone playing him in a play that can't act as well, who's like kind of like joking playing the character. That's what it felt like. The best actress in this movie who did her thing was the woman who played Sophie.
Yeah.
She embodied who Oprah was back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did her thing. She's the number one killer right there. And I like her she was from the Orange is the New Black show.
She does that home improvement show that I like too.
Oh, yeah. Netflix. Yep. She was great. So, all in all,
don't go see it.
very depressing. A lot of black folks are going to love this, cap for this, enjoy it, like the people in our audience. They loved every minute of that.
They were all old.
Cool shit.
They were all senior
They
citizens.
loved every minute
They all
of that.
had walkers and canes.
It's the Tyler Perry effect times 10. I like Tyler Perry, but Tyler Perry knows that he could give a certain type of movie to black folk and they'll eat it up. And this is what this is, but times 10. So, overall, don't go watch it.
All the handicap seats were taken in the movie theater.
Yeah, it was a lot of old folk. Guys, don't watch the movie. All right, that's it. We out. Peace.